All right, guys, it's Copper Cutlass, and I got the rear end out. You can hear the storms are rolling in pretty damn good. It's about to get wild. I was trying to beat the rain because I don't know if we're going to lose power, but my spool showed up a week early, and I got my gear, and I went into a frenzy, and I ordered up my bearings, my install kit, everything else that I needed. So we got a 456 gear, a new spool, and yes, the old spool was wallered out. So another little thing that I noticed was when I ordered my Moser spool, they call for a specific bearing, but they do not want you to use the race that is supplied with the bearing, which would be like a Timken set 47. They want you to use like it's a 210-90-10. You're supposed to use a 210-90-911. And my only guess is that obviously you can't change the dimensions of the cone of the race, but my guess is the width. And maybe that explains why this spool was kind of moving around, because when I checked out the rear end before Indy 2 years ago, we kind of did the setup a little bit without going into the pinion, and we got a fairly good pattern, and we just tightened everything up. But when I took it apart in the car recently, like, the spool came out really, really easy, which is not how it's supposed to come out. So yes, I took it out because it's much easier to do out of the car, but it also gives us the opportunity to let everything snowball. So you guys can see our frame repair, and I really couldn't do the backside because of the rear end. Well, now I can actually make some templates, clean this up, and kind of triangulate our repair and, do the backside of this frame. Gives us an opportunity to inspect that side. And I think there's some bolts in here that I need to replace. There's a couple of things I'm surprised these Amazon Heim joints have held up. But, I think part of the clunking noises I was also hearing was like my really loose control arms, which kind of look really worn out. I may have to drill those and bush those. We'll see. I didn't even check this side, but we'll do it live. This one's not as bad. But I run all of my control arm stuff like snug and double nutted, but over time, these control arms do have bushings in them, and they probably get wallered out in the process. I am going to put louder mufflers on this because I've lived here long enough to where I think I influence the youngins in the neighborhood, and they all have really loud cars, and I can't be outdone by fucking 20-year-olds. The fuck? So we're going to make this thing actually sound like a race car. It's pretty quiet with these mufflers. They sound good, but I think I'm going to put these on the Bonneville and make the Bonneville a little louder. If I have the money, I actually want to do a new 3-inch X-pipe with 2 sets of cutouts, one after the X-pipe, one before the X-pipe, and then we're going to put some nice one-chamber race mufflers on this thing and make this thing ridiculously loud, because we really don't drive this car anymore, so why not? But aside from that, yeah, I'm laying under the car. Everything is good. We got all our parts. We figured out the mystery, I think, of why the spool was shifting. And even the spool that was in it, which was a Richmond, called for the same type of bearing, the same type of race. So I assume that with the, I really don't know. Maybe somebody can chime in who knows better on rear ends why they call for that combination of bearing and a different race. Because if you order a set 47, it comes with the proper race, but they want you to use a different race. So maybe it's the way that it's engineered. Maybe it's a little bit wider. I really don't know. But we got all that stuff on order. It should get here Thursday. And I'm going to clean up. Obviously, I got the rear end sitting here on my grease drum. And I'm going to clean it up a little bit, spray it all down. The gear didn't look bad, but it doesn't have the world's greatest wear either. But it's fairly new. I'm just going to hang on to it for, fun. But we're putting a 456 in here. And I know I talked about taking the transmission out and all that stuff, but I think for the purpose of making sure everything is one-to-one, we're going to get the rear end done first, put this all together, and then I'm going to top the transmission back up. I'm going to top it off, and then we're going to drive it and make sure everything's good on the setup. So, you know, maybe it was the rear end noise, maybe the transmission's fine, because the fluid was good. There was shrapnel on the plug, but it was really, really fine. So it wasn't anything heavy that I would consider like really, really bad. Like I wasn't getting burrs in my fingers. It was just really fine stuff, which for the amount of miles this transmission passes, I should say, and abuse this transmission has, it doesn't know anybody anything, but I think for all intents and purposes, the transmission still works. I mean, I was doing whole shots at work and shit, but I think I have to just put the rear end in, drive the car, make sure that's good, and then we'll swap out the transmission. Now, this following weekend, I'm getting together with JJ. I'm going to be getting a 5000 saw that I'm going to send out and have cleaned up, cut, and whatnot. And that's the stall converter we're going to try out with our Ultrabelt 350 that's been up on the shelf for almost, I think, 2 years, over 2 years now. So I paid a lot of money to have that built because I wanted something kind of trick, something nice. And I really have never spent money on a transmission being built, as I usually have built all my own. But I wanted something nice, so I paid for it. Imagine that, me paying for something. That's fucking wild. But yeah, we got this, and I'm really, really looking forward to setting this up. Hopefully we get it right and everything is good. I've done rear ends before. I did my buddy Tim's in his Mustang, and it survived all year with 4-speed and a lot of abuse at the track. So I think I'm a little confident about the subject. But yeah, anything can happen. But the axles are good. We got a new Moser spool. We got a motive gear, which right now I was recommended the motive gear. I got motive gear install kit with Timken bearings. I'm using Timken bearings throughout the whole thing. And yeah, everything so far is good. So this is just a little update. You know, we got the 351 Windsor done, and it's onto my buddy's transmission. I'll post some pictures here and at the end of the video of everything. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Share, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass. And we're going to keep the ball rolling because racing season is just, you know, I shouldn't say racing season, but the track opening is just a little over a month away, and I think we got enough time to make everything happen. And, you know, hopefully we'll be in good shape. Swapping transmissions isn't hard. Putting the rear end in isn't hard. We just got to set it up, and our parts showed up sooner. So, you know, maybe we might be out here Friday night farting around with this, setting it up. And, you know, we'll see you guys then. Share, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Copper Cutlass. See you around.